Tucked away in the remote corners of eastern Nevada lies one of America's best kept secrets. This is Great Basin National Park, a land where desert valleys meet alpine peaks, and where ancient bristlecone pines stand watch. For the next few days, we'll explore caves, hike high into the mountains, and discover why Great Basin is worth the journey. I'm starting this adventure underground at Lehman Caves. Carved over millions of years, these caverns have some of the most delicate cave formations in the American West. Howdy. I'm registered for the tour. Guess I need to check in.
Yes, what's the last name?
Barba, B-A-R-B-A.
One adult. So white nose syndrome is a fungal disease that affects bats, but here in Nevada we don't have it yet. We are trying to keep it like that. These spores that can cause it live for up to a decade on clothing or other personal effects. So are you wearing anything today that you have worn in another cave, mine, lava tube tunnel, or other place in the ground that has a bat population?
No.
Okay.
So we got a couple of things we're going to do before we go into the cave today. So we need to disinfect our shoes before we go into the cave today. We're going to walk through what we call our bat mat. This is a hydrogen peroxide water solution. You don't need too much solution. Make sure your shoes do get in there, but don't splash if you can help it. And then towards the top, you can scrub a dub-dub, all right? Then have you walk across. You can take a seat. What today? I'm so excited. That's great. Well, you got folks from all over. That's exciting. What you guys are going to do is go down to where the door is. Don't go through it. Line up on the right-hand side of the tunnel for me, okay?
This is so cool. It smells like a cave.
9, 10, 11, 14 of you are going into these caves and 14 are coming out. All right, are we all ready? Yes. Awesome. Then I am ready to welcome you all to Lehman Caves. The base layer of rock that forms this cave, let's start there, the origins here, right, is over 500 million years old. All right, and this rock started forming when Nevada was a lot closer to the equator and it was under the ocean. Under that ocean, you're going to have billions of tiny sea creatures. As they die, they sink to the bottom of the ocean floor. Layer on top of layer on top of layer of all these dead sea creatures and shells and sand will condense into a nice juicy rock that we call limestone. But this is no longer a limestone cave. For my friends who are from Nevada, you're probably familiar with what we call the basin and range, right? And that's what we have here. These basins, these valleys are created by the earth stretching and pulling apart a couple of centimeters every year to this day. And then the mountains are pushed up and out of the earth on either side. So all this heat and pressure underneath the crust, this movement of the earth, it metamorphosed, it changed the limestone here into marble. So we are in a marble cave, which is pretty special because there's only a handful of those in the US. It's now a part of this cave's story and history, and it's something that's not only protected by the cave, but protected by the Park Service. Because the inscriptions we're seeing today, they're all over 100 years old, which is incredible, right? And so what we're looking at here too, this is not like your everyday graffiti. This is not spray paint, because that didn't exist 100 years ago. This is you holding your candle or your torch to the ceiling, burning in. In this room, we see a lot of initials, right? But in many other rooms, you might see full names. So this is a great example of a cave shield. And behind it, the ones that are lit up that we saw when we walked into this room are going to be our parachute shields. We see how large this formation is, right? And this is not the largest shield in the cave. Here in Lehman Caves, we have 5 cave shields. We have, though, actually 504 cave shields, which might be the most cave shields found in any cave in the world. What is the deal with this cave? Why do we have so many shields? What's happening down here? Does it have to do with all that water that comes in here in the spring, that huge influx of snowmelt? Could it be the mineral content, right? We have marble, but we also have another layer of rocks on the surface above us. Those impurities could change something down here. It could be the age of this cave. We've learned that this might be one of the oldest caves in the Americas. So you have all that time for these things to grow, right? It could be any of these things. It could also be none of them. The thing with cave science, right, is it's also constantly changing and evolving. You're welcome.
Thank you, Olivia. You're great.
Thank you.
That was so cool. Man, always forget how much I actually love caves. Like, I haven't been in a cave in quite some time. I guess like at a national park or where they're giving tours like that. Caverns are just such cool formations in nature. Wow. But it is a rainy day, which is very unusual for Nevada. And yeah. So I'm gonna go find somewhere to camp and sleep for the night, because I have no idea where that's going to be yet. I guess let's go find camp. And this right here is camp. So you may be wondering, where exactly am I? I am actually still within the Great Basin National Park boundary. This is called Snake Creek Road. And something really cool about the national park here is that they allow dispersed camping off this road. Now, you can't just pull off on any open spot you see, but you have to stay in these designated camping sites. So for example, this is one that I'm at. It's not very big. My truck's probably the biggest you can probably get in here, but it's free and it's within the national park, and it feels like you're dispersed camping in national forest. There's the road, then you have a campsite right here. Took a lot to get level. That's my leveling block situation. Yeah, it took a lot. And I'm still not like perfectly level, but I'm close. And then each site has a fire ring and a picnic table. And then I'm not too sure what's back here. I assume this is Snake Creek. And it is dry. There was water flowing down the creek a little bit, down the road. So I don't know, maybe it's same creek, different creek, I don't know. Maybe there's a spring, not too sure. This site in particular is in the Squirrel Springs campsites. And I say campsites, there's a pit toilet just right up the road here, like within walking distance. And there are 3 campsites here. There's this one, there's one right next to me, and there's literally one right next to that one. So there's 3 in a row, and that's it right here. There are other sites up and down this road. There's a few group sites closer to the entrance. And there's one dispersed camping site closer to the entrance of the road at the park boundary as well. But that one was taken. So this was the next best option that was not a group site. But today was a chill day. We did the cave tour and it was raining earlier. So like, oh, let's go explore a little bit. Let's go find some camping on this road. I've eyeballed the road. I'm like, why not? Because the next 2 days are going to be packed full and I'm going to be exhausted the next 2 days. So I'm enjoying the dispersed camping and the little bit of exploring today. And for dinner tonight, I am cooking homemade burgers with chips. I'm getting my cast iron hot, and then I'm going to put a scoop of beef tallow in, maybe a few scoops, just enough to where they're almost fully submerged. Now let me remind you, I am on a hill, so all of the beef tallow I just put in here pretty much just went to the side right here. And some of y'all ask why I like to get level. This is exactly why. because when I cook, it is very annoying when all the oil goes to one side of the pan. This is just one of many reasons. And of course, once you take it out of the skillet, sprinkle it with some fresh salt. And now, time for the burger patties. I'm going to form my patties, and then once I have them formed, I'm going to top them with salt and pepper for seasoning and put them straight into the same skillet that the chips were in with the beef tallow. And we're going to top it off with some cheddar cheese and some Munster. And a freshly toasted bun to top it off. From the depths of the caves, we now climb high into the Snake Range. At nearly 13,000 feet above sea level, Wheeler Peak dominates the horizon, and the trails lead to some of the most breathtaking alpine scenery in Nevada. Wow, what a gorgeous drive that was. This is at the Bristlecone parking area, and we're just shy of 10,000 feet of elevation in this parking area. Now there's the Summit Trail parking area, and that is like right at 10,000 feet. I think we're at 9,949 feet right now. But wow, like literally from the basin desert floor of Nevada to mixed spruce conifer forest with aspens, and it's cold up here. Like I had this sweatshirt on down at camp, and camp was like 7,000 feet and then dropped down to 5,000 feet in the town of Baker at the base of Great Basin National Park. And so we pretty much climbed 5,000 feet in 12 miles. It's crazy. And the 12-mile drive that we just did that ascended 4,000 to 5,000 feet of elevation from the town of Baker to the Bristlecone trailhead right here is equivalent to a drive from Nevada to the Yukon as far as terrain and vegetation and environment. And since Great Basin National Park has such a wide range of elevation differences, it supports a wide variety of vegetation and animal life here in the park. They call it basin and range for a reason, because you have the basin desert and then you have massive mountain ranges like this one right here in Great Basin National Park. And today we're gonna be knocking out a handful of trails actually. We're gonna be doing the Alpine Lakes Loop, the Bristlecone Pine Trail, and the Glacier Trail. Forgot the name of it. That'll be the last one that we do. But we're gonna hit all that up today, And I kind of waited around this morning. I didn't get up as early as I wanted to because when I did get up, it was still foggy and cloudy. You couldn't see any of the mountain peaks. And there's still some low-hanging clouds at the top of Wheeler Peak up there. But it is sunshine now. And it's a beautiful day. And it's a little chilly. So I'm keeping the sweatshirt on. Because yeah, it's a little cold up here. It feels good with the sun, but man, the wind and the clouds keep blowing in. And from the Bristlecone parking area, I'm starting on the Alpine Lakes Loop, which I believe the loop in total is 2.6 miles. Not very far, doesn't seem like a whole lot of elevation gain. And then from the Alpine Lakes Loop, we'll be able to hit the Bristlecone Pine Trail and the Glacier Trail. And I brought snacks, I brought water, I even brought a rain jacket, just in case I get caught in some evening storms or rain or something. Because it's been a trend. The whole 4 days I've been in Nevada, it's been raining every day at some point. And these trails that I am doing, especially the Alpine Lakes Loop, these are probably the most used trails within the park and the most accessible trails. I can tell I'm at like 10,000 feet of elevation. Just started and I'm out of breath. That right there is the junction for the Alpine Lakes Loop and the Bristlecone Loop and the Glacier Trail. We're starting with the Alpine Lakes Loop and we'll be going to Stella and Teresa Lake. And those are called Tarn Lakes, T-A-R-N, and they are remnants of the last glacier during the last ice age. And like much of the mountains out here, this is all a glaciated landscape. These mountains were carved and formed by the last ice age and the massive glacier that once lived in this area. And later on the Glacier Trail, we'll see the remnant of that glacier. I think it was pretty smart of me to bring my rain jacket. It keeps sprinkling on and off. The sun comes out and then it sprinkles, then the wind blows, and the sun comes out and it sprinkles. Which I'm not gonna lie, I like the rain, but I would like to see all the mountains here without fog on them. Oh, it's actually starting to rain now. Wow, okay. Wheeler Peak is now just about fully covered in fog and clouds again. Not gonna pull my rain jacket out just yet. If I stay more in this forest here, or well, the trail stays in this thick forest like this, pretty protected for a little bit. But the thing is, it could rain for a second and then stop raining. So I'm not gonna go through the effort just yet to pull my jacket out. But I did dress smart. Instead of just wearing that sweatshirt that I had on earlier, put on a t-shirt and this pullover. just in case I got hot. And I'm getting warm, so this could be coming off pretty soon. So I'm glad I didn't just stick with that sweatshirt. So I haven't talked about this in quite a while. When you see the signs that say leave no trace, that doesn't just mean like pack it in, pack it out, like take your trash and food back with you. That also means don't leave your markings on things, such as all these aspen trees right here. As tempting as it may be to want to carve your name into something, a rock or a tree, do not do it. One, it's ugly. Two, it will kill all of these trees. By carving your name into a tree, it opens the bark in the tree up to infection. Just like if you had cut your skin, it opens the inside of your body up to infection. And that's what all these trees are starting to get. Like this one right here. Like this one's already starting to die. And whether that could be from something else causing it to die, but it could very well be from all the carvings in that tree. And it's really sad. I like my trees and I want to see them alive when I go to places. Although trees can heal and they can close the bark up and heal from all that, it still puts it at a very high risk of obtaining some kind of infection or disease from the outside, which will slowly start to kill that tree. What's really nice about Great Basin National Park, there's hardly anyone here. Like granted, I know it's cloudy, it's kind of rainy off and on, and it's nice for a change. The parks I've been to recently are really busy parks. It's just kind of cool to be here and there's nobody here hardly. It's real nice, real nice. Welcome to Stella Lake. It's probably the easiest alpine lake I've ever hiked to. Wow, that was quick. And onward to Teresa Lake. Shouldn't be too much further either. My nose and cheeks are a little numb right now. That's how much of a chill in the air there is. It's probably really not that bad temperature wise. It was like 58 at the top of the trailhead there. And we've climbed, I don't know, a little bit, a few hundred feet maybe. But also the humidity adds in too. But yeah, like the tip of my nose and my cheeks are a little numb. It's funny. Howdy. Good, how are you? I'm about to do the exact same thing. Let's put my rain jacket on.
It's just about enough to get your attention.
It is, yeah. Man, it was sprinkling when I first started. I was like, I'm gonna wait because it could stop. And sure enough, it stopped, the sun peeked out for a second, and now it's back to this.
Keeps on your toes.
It does, yeah.
Which is good. That's how hiking should be, a little bit of.
Exactly.
You don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Yeah, I debated on hiking up Wheeler Peak, but dude, it's like 3,000 feet, 4 miles one way. And it's like, it's foggy up there. You get 3/4 the way up and it's straight fog. Yeah, it seems like it's just gonna stay foggy and kind of rainy most of the time, so.
We got the 1 week of the year.
I know, right? This is not normal for this. Not normal here for it. All right, it's come just enough downpour now to put my rain jacket on, which I'm glad I brought it. It's a little steady little drizzle. It's nice though. It's been a while since I've done a good hike in the rain. I'm enjoying it. I dig it. As bad as I want it to be sunshine and see the mountains, I'm not complaining. I really love hiking in the rain. It's not very often out west you get to do that. It's really coming a storm now. Dang. Boy, was I wrong about the weather. That little sun just teased you. That's all it did. We are coming up on to Teresa Lake. Quite a bit smaller of a lake.
Hello.
Howdy, how are y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little rain hike.
Exactly.
Yeah. Y'all have a good one. What's wild, it may be raining up here at 10,000 feet, but it's probably sunny and clear down in Baker or at the base of the park, and probably 20 degrees warmer. That's what's wild. Maybe 30 degrees warmer. And this rain may not even make it down that far. May just get cloudy down there, and that's it. That's crazy how much the lake has receded. It used to be a pretty decent sized lake, and now it's just a tiny pond left. I wonder how fast that receded like that. That's interesting. I'm not the only one hiking out in the rain. I'm not doing it alone. It's getting cold though. Wow. Thought it was cold a second ago. It's getting a little more chilly. It is sleeting now. It's like not even rain anymore. This is full on sleet. Wow. So I'm now at the junction for the Bristlecone, Pine Grove, and the Glacier Trail. And I don't think the rain's gonna stop anytime soon. I'm a mile from the trailhead where the truck is. And 1 second. And I'm about 1.5 miles from the glacier. Oh my gosh. The thing is, I could be waiting this out at the truck for hours. Let's do it. Let's go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna hike it. Why not? I mean, I'm already soaking wet. So, yeah, I'm just a little cold. I put my pullover back on under my rain jacket. Watch later, by the time I finish this hike and everything, the sun's out, it's a beautiful evening, and the rain's gone. That'd be my luck. I don't mind a rain hike, but it's cold, and it's sleeting, and it kind of hurts. If you've never experienced Great Basin National Park in the rain, this is it right here. This is it. The forest right here does provide a little bit of protection from the rain. That or maybe it's slacked up some, I don't know. I have no idea. Howdy.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Got some good shots?
Yeah, man, it's actually been a good time in the rain.
Yeah, it's been fun. I haven't been able to see any good lightning. Have you?
No, man, I hear it.
Yeah.
And it's close.
It's so, you can like feel it rolling down the mountain
Yeah.
too. It's cool.
Yeah, man. I know, I'm hoping maybe get closer up to the glacier or something
Yeah.
if it's still storming.
Yeah. Hopefully
Maybe.
it clears up. It's not too bad. Like,
Yeah.
I was up around the Bristlecones.
Okay.
And I was like, once it really started hailing, I'm like, I don't have the stuff
Yeah.
to do it. So.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Have a good one, man.
Have fun.
See ya. Have a good one. Despite the rain, I actually am having a good time, like I told the dude. I'm just a little cold. My hands are a little cold and a little numb. And my nose is starting to run. But I am having a great time. There's some blue sky. It's promising that we may see the sun again. It's already slacked up raining a lot. It's promising. The rain has calmed down. We are now in the Bristlecone pine grove. Some of these bristlecone pines are 4,000 to 5,000 years old. They are a very, very slow growing tree. And they're unique because they only grow in some of the highest elevation, rockiest regions and terrain in the mountains of the Southwest here. The great age attained by these trees is their unusual ability to adapt to rugged, harsh terrain. And they live in remote, rugged areas that most trees cannot survive in. Since these are slow growing trees, that is caused by the fine grained wood that this tree is and how resinous it is. So these may take hundreds of years to mature, thousands of years to mature. And hundreds of years is a pretty young bristlecone pine. And even after they're dead, they could sit and decay for thousands of years before it's actually rotten to the ground. This is the largest population of bristlecone pine in the world, is on top of this mountain range right here. And is also one reason why Great Basin National Park is here. One reason, and that is to protect this grove of bristlecone pine. And we have sunshine coming out. Ah, it feels so good. It's so beautiful, wow. There's a short interpretive trail that we're gonna take for these bristlecone pines and learn a little more about them. It wasn't until 1958 that the bristlecone pine is considered the oldest living thing on Earth. And it wasn't until the 1970s that the bristlecone pine here in Great Basin and then some in the White Mountains of California were dated as old as 3,000 to 5,000 years old. This tree right here had a core sample taken out of about 4 feet above the ground here. And the innermost growth ring has been dated at 1126 BCE. So that means that this tree was about 4 feet tall in that year and may have taken it about 200 years to get 4 feet tall, which means this tree dates to around 3,200, 3,300 years old. My goodness. Wow, that's insane. I'm so fascinated with these trees. Like, if y'all know me, if y'all been watching, I'm a tree nerd. I am a tree nerd. And this is satisfying my nerdiness right now. Wow, it's just so unique. I've never seen any pine, anything close to that. That's so cool. I was just touching the needles of a tree that's considered the oldest living thing on Earth. Man, that's so cool. Now we push onward to the glacier. About a mile, I think. Not too far. Nothing too crazy. It's hard to breathe. We're approaching the tree line, y'all. That's a beautiful rock. I love the colors of that. It is full on exposure out here now. No protection from the wind. Whew. It's cold coming out of this bowl right here. Oh. Feels like winter time. There's more thunder. And it's starting to sprinkle again. So close to the glacier. Just hold off, rain, please. Do you realize that glaciers still exist in the state of Nevada? At 11,000 feet of elevation, this is the only glacier in the state of Nevada. And this glacier is the other reason why Great Basin National Park exists. And right above it is the tallest mountain peak in the Snake Range, Wheeler Peak, topping out at just a little bit over 13,000 feet. Can't really see the top of it too well because it's covered in fog. The rain's holding out just a little bit. The sun's starting to peek out some. Wow, what a beautiful hike this has turned into. And all of this that I'm standing on, that I've walked on, all of this rock, this is called the Lehman Rock Glacier. And it may look like dry rock bed here, but underneath the ground is frozen. There's water that's frozen that's holding all this in. And as it freezes and thaws, this is all a changing landscape and it moves. And this is still an active glacier, even though it's a rock glacier. Man, it's a cool park. And after the rain, I'm the only person out here. Everyone was like getting back to the trailhead, back to the truck. I was like, I'm going, pushing through it. And I did. Whew, now I'm just cold. I'm ready to get back down there where it's sunshine and about 5,000 feet of elevation and not 11,000 feet. Look how pretty and sunshine that is down there. Feels nice. to be back in some kind of tree cover and in trees for the color and the greenery. All the gray rock back there started to like mess with my eyes and my head. It was so much gray rock everywhere. It was a trip. It was weird. And it's also nice to be in trees for wind protection. That wind was cold up there. About the closest I've probably been to a glacier. I've seen them on like Alpine lakes and glacier lakes and all that. They've always been quite a ways away. That was, I mean, still a little ways away, but probably the closest I've been to one though. Are y'all going all the way to the glacier?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, you have quite a ways to go still.
We're just
Yeah.
gonna go.
Can you
and
get a
then-
view up ahead a little bit?
Yeah, if you just keep going like past where the tree line ends right here, and it kind of curves to your right, and you can get a little bit of a view of it.
That's what we were thinking we would do.
Yeah, you'll come up to like a little plaque, like informational, interpretive
Okay.
plaque.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
you'll have a good one.
You too.
10,496.
Yeah, I think it tops out at like 10,009 something at the glacier, almost 11,000
You
feet.
done the peak yet?
I haven't, no.
We're gonna try Saturday.
Nice. I'm only here for a few days. I was gonna try it probably tomorrow, but man, it's supposed to be foggy and cloudy, so I'm like, there's no point in me doing it if it's gonna be foggy. So
Yeah.
get one of my last fills of a bristlecone pine for a while. There's a good one right here. Look at that. Man, it's just so different. It's so unique. Wow. Huh. The thunder returns. Sounds pretty far off. I don't think we'll get hit by any more rain or storms. Probably shouldn't have said that. It's probably gonna happen now. That, my friends, is the parking lot. So we are not too far. We're just up above it a little bit. I think it was like 2.8 miles from the glacier to the parking lot. No, that's a lie. I think it was more like 4 miles to the glacier. Wasn't a bad hike though. What got me was being at altitude at like almost 11,000 feet of elevation. We're at like 10,200 something now. But being at almost 11, getting up to that glacier, that was rough. Whew. And I'm glad I kept going. I'm glad I didn't turn around and go back to the truck or anything. And I kept pushing through the rain, and it worked out in my favor. It cleared out, became beautiful, the sun was out. Being out west, you don't get a whole lot of rain very often. It's hit or miss. So when it does come, I do enjoy it a lot. And one of my favorite things is the smell of the earth and the forest after a good rain. And then the sun comes out, everything's more green. It's like everything's been washed. And you see a part of the forest that not many people get to see if they're not out in the rain like this. And that is the junction where I debated on coming back to the truck or to keep going. So now this is the final part of the Alpine Lakes loop that I started this morning. And this will take you all the way back down to the trailhead. The trail that I'm on now is the Sky Island Accessible Loop. It's only 0.4 of a mile, and I'm already back at the trailhead pretty much. The parking lot and campground's just right behind me. But I was like, why not? It's only not even a half mile, so just walk it and see what it's all about. Super cool that the park does have a true accessible trail. You don't see those at very many parks or places in general. They've put this nice textured plastic matting down for the trail. So the actual tread surface of this trail is really, really good. So whether you have a motorized chair or not, this is a perfect and easy, like very good example of what a accessible trail should be. This is really cool. I love it. I did it. I'm back at the trailhead. That was a nice little day. And just as it starts raining, that was perfect timing right there. So last night I had said that we're gonna have a busy, packed next 2 days. Well, plans have kind of changed. I was wanting to summit Wheeler Peak, but the rest of the week is supposed to be rainy and cloudy, just like this, and the top of that peak is foggy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to do that because my time here is limited, but I did get to experience this park in a different, I guess, environment than what most probably get to experience it in. So to experience this in the rain and the storm was a unique experience for sure. But that just means I have to come back to Great Basin sometime in the future and summit Wheeler Peak, since I didn't get to do it this time. Great Basin may not be the most visited national park in America, but that's what makes it so special. It's a place of extremes, desert to glaciers, ancient trees, and some of the darkest skies in America. Out here, time slows down and nature reminds us how vast and varied America really is. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and remember to keep it wild.